I was still super upset last time I saw you guys. Me, you, Chris, and Alexis were this close to going to Hell's Kitchen. Then we saw the prices and we were like, no.
Yeah, maybe for a birthday, maybe, but yeah, that was fine.
That's exactly what Chris said. He was like, it's not your birthday. You're just visiting here. So
We don't have to go all out.
like fair enough.
Woo! All right. Welcome to another episode of History of Popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. We are on episode 29. We've made it this far. So, and if you've made it this far too, you should subscribe to us on YouTube, listen to us on Spotify if that's what you're doing. Tell your friends about us because we're going to keep doing this and we're going to keep doing it for you. Isn't that right, Justin?
I say what Elijah says. yes.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, what he said. Just scared.
This is not a basement that he's hiding me in at all.
At least you have windows, okay?
They're fake windows.
Just bright lights.
Yeah.
We've got a couple movies here, and I also heard about a breakup that happened, which I think is gonna suck because I didn't think it would. I didn't expect that to happen, but I guess we'll start with that. The breakup. The Coen Brothers broke up.
What?
Coen Brothers, they're not going to make movies anymore because I think it's Ethan Coen doesn't want to make any more movies, but Joel Coen is still going to make movies just by himself. And he's never done that before. Yeah, I was really interested. They did Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? They did
Fargo, The Big Lebowski.
Fargo, yeah, and they're like a really good duo that I thought would last
the best
forever. Yeah, and now they broke up.
They're like
apparently
one of the only guys, like the only directors, like even their bad movies are still watchable.
Yeah, yes, I agree. And it's like I thought they would be making movies forever because apparently they have like countless scripts that they haven't even made yet that they're just sitting on because they write all the time and they consistently create. But yeah, I think it's Ethan Coen doesn't want to do it anymore. Yeah, he doesn't want to make movies anymore. But Joel Coen has a new movie coming out with Denzel Washington. A new version of Macbeth, the tragedy of Macbeth, with Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand.
Oh God!
Yeah,
you had me for a second, and then you kept on talking.
Yeah, it's going to be really. It's going to be an intense one. I think I've never imagined an older version of Macbeth. I don't know. I feel like he's usually younger, but I don't really remember the play now. I was in the play in high school, but I can't really remember.
Yeah. No, I'm not a big fan of those kinds of things. The Green Knight is where I drew the line. That movie was so weird that I actually I dug it.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's hard. It's hard to watch. But we'll be talking about Dave Patel too.
I'll never see a green sash the same way ever again.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that I won't see.
If you saw the movie, you would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I am glad I saw that movie in the theater though. I'm glad I saw that movie in the theater though. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm glad we went to the biggest screen possible to see it because it's a visual. So visually it's so beautiful, but I mean there's a lot lacking in it, but I still enjoyed it.
I saw it with my brother and my dad, and right when we walked out, my dad was like, "So Elijah, what did it mean? What did it all mean?" And I was like, "Oh well, I don't know. I don't want to break it down now because I could tell he didn't like it at all." He's like, "What did it mean, Elijah? Huh? What did it mean?"
It's definitely one of those movies that needs to be viewed many times. I was telling my buddy that I saw it with to watch Annette, the new Adam Driver Sparks Brothers musical.
Still haven't seen that yet. I didn't know it was a full-blown musical, but
it's more of a rock opera, but I mean but they that and The Green Knight are such great that's a great double feature because they're both way too long, and at the end of it you're just like, why did this happen to me? Annette is a little bit more on the nose though. I loved Annette, honestly. I mean I won't say too much about it, but I mean I thought that was such a it was such a treat. I can't wait for Elijah to watch it because holy shit, dude. There's so many things.
I can rent it now. I didn't know that. I thought it was coming out to theaters
Well, no, if you have Amazon Prime, it's an Amazon original. So if you have Amazon Prime,
it's just on there. Oh wow, okay, yeah, I do have that. So
That's why, like,
Interesting.
I was over at my friend's house, and she fell asleep, and I was on Amazon Prime, and that popped up, and I was like,
Oh.
well, I guess I'm watching this,
Can
and
Adam Driver
I
actually sing then, or is he just kind of like messing with the audience and making people think he can? Because he's
you know
done that
he
multiple
he
times now. He's sang in Marriage Story, and I was like, wow, this is a long scene. Sings the whole
Yeah, no, I
song.
love that scene. Well, no, he's a good he's an okay singer. I mean, like, compared
Mhm.
to the other the woman who plays his wife, she has like an actual like operatic voice. But Adam Driver is great in it though. It's one of his best performances. He's so manic in it. Like, oh my god, dude. And he plays a stand-up comedian too. There's so many things I didn't know
Oh,
about
really? Wow.
going in. Yeah, he's a comedian who's like, yeah, oh dude, just I can't wait for you to watch it. We'll get more into it. I still haven't
Yeah.
watched
Well,
Pigs. So, I mean, like, we'll dive into those movies soon.
nice. Yes, I'm excited to talk to you about Pig and see if you like it. It's intense.
I can't wait.
Um,
I can't wait.
yeah, so the Coen brothers broke up. And you mentioned Dave Patel, so I'm gonna go to this story about Dave Patel. He's gonna be in a new project, a movie, with New Regency, I guess, which I haven't heard from for a while. But
Oh wow, yeah.
um, they're making a movie. This is interesting though because there's two projects that are coming out about the same subject, and we got Dave Patel in one project and Kumail Nanjiani in the other project, and they're playing the same character. It's very
Oh,
interesting, but it's about the creation of the Chippendales, which I think is an interesting concept because
wait. Rescue Rangers or the
no,
dancers?
no, the dancers,
Okay.
the nightclub. But I found this interesting because I found out like I think Craig Gillespie, you know that name, right? He directed I think he was I,
Red Tanya.
Tonya. Yeah, and the
Mm-hmm.
Cruella. So he's attached to the Dave Patel project. And the people who are doing the like is it Pam and Tommy show on Hulu or something about Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, I think. They're
Oh,
doing
okay.
the TV show on Hulu about the same story. Um, the one on
And
Hulu
that's
is
gonna
called
be Camille.
Immigrant. Yeah, and that's Kumail Nanjiani. Is in the project is called Immigrant. I'm not sure what it's called with Dave Patel, but it's a movie. And I was interested because the title of or the what's it called? Headline said a murder saga, and I was like, "What? Chippendales and murder?" I didn't know anything about this, but then I read what the story is about. It says the Chippendales movie will follow Steve Bandry, who's played by Patel, who immigrated from India to Playa del Rey to chase the dream of fame and fortune, and bored with pumping gas in the mobile station he owned. He found an outlet for his entrepreneurial dreams when he acquired a struggling LA rock club, Destiny 2. He transformed it with a new name and themed nights that included female mud wrestling and a male exotic dance night for ladies only. And that's the one that caught on. Bandry and his partners were presiding over the Flesh Empire that earned 8 million annually, and they were selling
God damn.
calendars. And then I found out early co-creator included Paul Snyder, whose Playboy Bunny girlfriend Dorothy Stratton helped come up with the signature cuff and collars uniform, and Snyder would later murder Stratton and kill himself. And lawsuits and disputes between Bandry followed because um, I guess they tried to what's it called? The main guy apparently got caught up in like a plot to kill a number of like the producers and dancers and choreographers for Chippendales, and eventually pleaded guilty to arson, racketeering, and murder for hire. So it goes into a bunch of,
Jesus.
yeah, I didn't know anything about that. So I'm like, okay, I can see
I
why that could
just
be a
thought it
movie.
was just dancing men.
Yeah. I thought it was just, yeah, I thought that was an SNL skit from Chris Farley, and they're like, hey, we should actually do
Yeah,
that.
Patrick
But
Swayze.
yeah, I didn't know that was there's so much to that story, and that's why I'm like, okay, I see why that's a movie. But I mainly wanted to talk about it because I think it's interesting that they're doing two projects again, like that are the same story. We had a story, one of our first episodes, but we cut it out because well, it just wasn't as interesting. It was a Mike. There was two Mike Tyson projects coming out, and we were like, oh, okay. But then we were like, well, just fuck Mike Tyson. So I just cut that
That's
out of the whole
exactly what I
story.
was gonna say.
But this is like the same situation that I think is interesting of how studios would be like, well, they have a project going on over there, and we can do our own project of the same thing, except one's a TV show and one's a movie, and I think it's really interesting. I don't know any.
Well, that's what
Well,
they did. That's what they did with the Gotti story. The All Might in the World. happened,
Oh yeah.
and then the whole Kevin Spacey thing happened. But then also, Danny Boyle did a TV show about it, Trust, that
Yeah.
had Donald Sutherland playing Gotti.
Yeah,
That
it's
dived a little bit
interesting.
more into it. Yeah, no, that is interesting when they do that. But I mean, like, I think it's kind of cool though, because like, you know, you get like two different perspectives
Mhm.
on
It's
because
like,
I
how
mean,
are they
with the
going to
TV
do it, and
show,
how are they going to do it
I
different?
think, yeah, and like with stuff like that, like it does make you wonder, like, can this work as a TV show? Like, as you see, like they're doing the Bill Clinton Monica Lewinsky
Yeah, Blanca
thing.
keeps telling me we should talk about that, and I'm like,
It
I
looks so
usually don't talk
silly,
about
but
things that have trailers and stuff already, unless it's like a reaction. But
mhm.
she like wants us to break it down. Did you see Clive Owen as Bill Clinton yet?
Yeah, it's super
It
silly.
looks weird. It
Yeah,
looks weird. But
but I mean, like, there's just stuff like that where, like, in the OJ Simpson show,
oh
like,
yeah.
where I get it, like, it's nice to have like all these details and stuff and have it be like a 10 episode miniseries. But
Mhm.
then there are some things like the OJ Simpson show, and sounds like that too, where it's like, just get on with it. Like, we don't need to know, like, what, I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
think, like, some of them, so, like, these are like stories that, like, I wouldn't mind them being like 3 hour movies,
Mhm.
like, I think that's the reason why movies should be 3 hours long, is having like stories like that where you get all the meat and the meat and the potatoes. But if it's like a TV show or like a mini series, like, there's so many episodes, like the Tiger King documentary series. It's
Yeah,
like, dude, there's
there's
so
like
many.
4 projects of those that were coming out of different networks. It was weird. Now there's only like 2 though,
Yeah,
because
but I
they're
mean, like,
like
just
the
the
hype passed.
yeah. Well, yeah, because like everybody finally realized how, like, 'cause the only reason why that show was popular is because everyone was in quarantine and,
Yeah,
like,
and this is the newest thing right
aching
at the
for
beginning.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, I would watch that show and I couldn't even finish it, 'cause after like episode 2, I'm like, why are all these episodes an hour long? Like, there's like, it's so like, the first episode, the first episode's interesting, but then you already know how it's gonna end.
Mhm.
Like, it's not even like, you don't even really like, so it's, I hate that, like, the big gap, and they have to, like, you can just tell they're like trying to fill in so much shit, so they start repeating stuff and blah blah blah. That's how I felt
Mhm.
about the OJ Simpson show and the other American Crime Story. And it sounds like with that story too, and that's why, moral of the story, I think I'm gonna go more for the Dev Patel. I'll probably watch the other thing just to watch Camille Nanjiani act, because that's
Yeah, we'll
cool.
see how we'll
But
be able to vet it out from the first episode. Be like, do we want to watch the rest of these?
yeah, that's how I usually go with TV shows. Like, Dave is like the only TV show I've, like, the like current TV show I've watched that
You've had to follow.
I
Yeah.
consistently, which, by the way, that last episode, I know
It
we already
was
talked
good.
about in our last episode, but
It was a good one.
oh, that's like the only show though I can think of that, besides, that isn't a cooking show, that isn't Hell's Kitchen.
Besides
Because
cooking shows, yeah.
I'm a fucking slut for cooking shows.
Yeah, I am too. I have been getting it in little increments too, of just doing little YouTube cooking shows too. I'm just like, these are
Mm,
fun. And I just like people saying cook. That
yeah,
I
I was
talked to my friend
super.
recently. I was like, if I could be good at one thing, just like with a snap of a finger, it'd probably be cooking. I would want to be really good at cooking because it's
I
convenient,
was
I
still
think.
super upset last time I saw you guys. Me, you, Chris, and Alexis were this close to going to Hell's Kitchen. Then we saw the prices and we were like, no.
Yeah, maybe for a birthday, maybe, but yeah, that was fine.
That's exactly what Chris said. He was like, "It's not your birthday. You're just visiting here." So
We don't have to go all out.
it's like, fair enough. We ate at that one place though. That was awesome. The what was that place? The Korean barbecue.
Oh yeah, I wish I had a better appetite. There was something going on that day I couldn't really eat, but yeah, I love those
Oh yeah,
places.
dude. Yeah, no, that place is awesome. And then we partied with some people, and I got
Yeah,
naked.
hot tub parties. Yes. um, let's
I
see.
Elijah saw my nipples.
Everyone did. Um, let's see. Where do I go? I guess I'll talk about Sylvester Stallone again. He's making an Expendables 4 and a spin-off of Expendables called A Christmas Story, which is Jason Statham's character. But he announced on Instagram a while ago about Expendables 4 by showing, because every movie he makes a ring, like a giant ring for the production, and he made one for Expendables 4. So he's like, it's coming. And I just wanted to ask, like, I mean, I think we kind of know how we feel about that movie because it's just another action movie where it's like redeeming action stars, but I was going to ask you,
Mhm.
who would they need to add to the cast to really up their game? Because they had Chuck Norris, which was kind of weird actually, because no one had seen him in like 30 years. But
And he's also like 85 years old.
yeah, and then they brought in Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's like a lot of people in these movies. I'd be surprised if you said one and they were actually already in the movie. I wouldn't be. I mean,
Yeah, I
but
don't know. They actually they like did all of them, you know.
you'd think, yeah. But apparently, back in 2014, I guess Pierce Brosnan said he was approached to join the cast, which was like I would be okay, but that was a long time ago. It was 2014, so
Yeah. But I
I
mean
don't
like
know.
he's not really an action star. I mean like he did James Bond, but I mean like I'm trying to think of
He
like
also did Mamma Mia, so I remember when I
oh
saw him, I was
man,
like, "What is he doing? This is so weird."
the less that's said about the movies, the better. Is for the best. That movie played at my work, Mamma Mia, and I turned it off and I put on the original Fantastic Four. And this guy was like, "Why did you do that?" And I was like, "Have you ever seen Mamma Mia?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "I'm doing you a favor. We're gonna watch Fantastic Four. We're gonna watch Jessica Alba try to act. It's
Why'd you
gonna be
do that? It's
hysterical.
just like he was hurt for a
Sit
second.
back." Well, he saw
There's
Meryl
a
Streep and he was just like, "Oh, why did you turn out Meryl Streep?" And I'm like, "Trust me, dude. I'm saving you. I'm
you
saving
can't
you."
do that to
But
Meryl.
that's who I won the Expendables for. Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
That would
There
be
you
kind of
go.
cool.
I'm surprised. Maybe Vin Diesel. I mean, obviously they would have to add
Uh,
like. I'm surprised they haven't tried to get Dwayne Johnson, but he wasn't that big at the time when I guess when these were coming
well, and
out. But
also like I'm trying to think of like veteran action stars. Now I'm gonna have
like
to look.
80s.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up now really quick because
I mean, Jackie Chan hasn't been around for a while, and I think they asked him to do
Jackie
it.
Chan.
They asked him to do it,
Jackie
I
Chan
think,
would
in
be
2 and 3,
cool.
but he turned it down, I think.
Yeah, I think he would. Well, Jackie Chan's not a R-rated guy. He likes keeping
Oh,
things.
that's true.
He
He's a
likes
fan.
keeping
Yeah,
things pretty
that
light.
is true.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, at this
I mean,
point, he's not a
Sean
veteran.
Penn.
He's just old. Sean Penn would be a cool. Well, Mel Gibson, I think, was a bad guy. That's why I immediately thought of. Oh, okay. Here's some. Clint Eastwood, maybe. Just have him be someone's
Yeah,
dad. I feel
I mean,
like.
though, even though he's like 1,000 years old, he can
Yeah,
definitely. Did you see the trailer for that new movie he's doing?
yeah. It's like his last
Oh
magnum
God,
opus. Actually, he might be making more
yeah,
movies, but this might be his last one. Cry Macho. It's basically Gran Torino, but with like
yeah.
on the border.
It quite literally is. Dude,
Maybe
Bill Murray.
here's to Bill Murray.
That would
Interesting.
actually be kind of awesome. Harrison Ford, no, he's already in it.
Was he? I think he
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
he was in the last one. Tommy Lee Jones,
Ooh, I haven't seen him in
that'd
a
be
while.
cool.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I actually think that would be dope. Um, Martin Sheen, Dennis
Was Steven
Quaid,
Seagal in them
no.
or Bruce Willis?
I think no one wants anything to do with. Yeah, Bruce Willis was no. Did you hear about that? Like the reason why he was out of the third one, I think, is because he asked for uh $5 million, like $1 million each day, or something like
Hmm.
that, and Sylvester Stallone was like, "No, we're not doing that.
Interesting.
You're fucking Bruce Willis. You're not Bruce Willis in the '80s. You're Bruce Willis in the 2020.
Yeah,
You're lame. You're lame sauce. I'm doing you a favor
you're
here.
doing battery commercials now with Die Hard characters. You're just pretending to be John
Yeah,
McClane and
yeah. Morgan
um,
Freeman,
that's what I was kind of thinking. Yeah, I'm
Tim
trying to think of
Allen,
Tim Allen would be interesting. A&E star. I
James
was
Caan. James Caan would be cool.
James Conn. I feel like is he still alive? I think he's still alive.
Yeah, no, that guy, he's a badass. I would never want to fuck with him. Gene Reno, dude. Yeah, no, there's actually a couple here that would be cool.
But
Donald
then
Sutherland.
the bad part though is that it's just an Expendables movie. It's not a movie.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing about those movies that like I like the first one. First one was fun.
Yeah,
Second one
Dave
was
Bautista maybe, but
yeah, Dave Bautista.
because one of the movies had Liam Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth's brother, and we're like, what? But then he was like the one who died right away because he was the young blood, and it went back to all the old people.
They should just get they should do a Suicide Squad and just get Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's son, just to
Yeah,
be there.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, he
We
was
have your
supposed. There was
son,
so
but
many
he's just
rumors
gonna
about
be
that
there.
about him being in Suicide Squad. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, he's going to turn into the Green Arrow from DC," and everyone's like saying all this stuff, and he ended up being no one. He was just there.
No, Elijah. He's just there.
He's just there.
The the the,
He's the
the
Eastwood.
casting director was like, whose famous person's son can we just be there?
Mhm.
And one person said, Scott. I'm like, who the fuck is Scott? Clint? Oh, I love that guy. He should just be there.
Oh, they had a
I'm just gonna
lot of
keep saying
people in
that.
Expendables. Oh wow, Terry Crews is in all of them, which is good for him. But
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes showed up like right
Dude,
after
Mickey.
he got out of prison
Yep.
for tax evasion.
Yeah,
Anyways,
dude.
he didn't
Dude,
even go
yeah,
to
no,
prison
that's
for a
actually
cool
my
reason.
favorite line. Yeah, that's my favorite line. And I think he's in the second one or the third one when he gets out and they're like, what were you in jail for? And he was like, tax evasion. Like he flat out just says it.
Yeah,
Oh
it was
god.
like the real story.
It's
That's really good.
so funny. So
My favorite
funny.
movie of his is Demolition Man, though.
Oh
Sylvester
yeah,
Stallone.
Taco Bell, man.
Yeah, Taco Bell won the fast food wars and is now every restaurant in the future.
Yeah,
I remember that
which
very
I
clearly.
find to be hysterical. My some of my buddies are super hardcore anti-vax, and they're like, I was watching Demolition Man with him. He's like, dude, this is how it's gonna be. I'm like, they're so funny. I mean, it's already kind of like that, but he's like thinking like, yeah, every place can be Taco Bell. Okay.
Well, I mean,
Go back
yeah,
to your hole.
there's worse restaurants, but it's not
There
the
are.
best at all.
It's not the best. Hey, if I had to choose between McDonald's and Taco Bell, I will always choose Taco Bell.
I don't know. That'd be hard for me to choose because they would both hurt me eventually. So,
Well, of course, they're all bad for you. They're all bad for you. There's no silver lining. But if I had to choose, it would definitely be the other. I would choose the latter.
Let's see. We got an animated movie coming out.
Ooh,
this one,
dude. Wait, hold on.
cast.
I'm sorry. Did you see the fucking cast for the third one though?
Yes,
The third
I did.
Expendables. Holy
I
shit!
did.
Okay, keep going.
There's a lot of people. Yeah, that's
insane.
those movies. Just
There's
they all are. Yeah, it's like
Kelsey
a high school
Grammer.
reunion or something. Yeah, just what? It's weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
So
Right,
there's
continue,
there's this animated movie. It's called The Bad Guys. It's got a pretty good cast though. It's got Sam Rockwell, Aquafina, Anthony
Love him.
Ramos of In the Heights, Mark Maron, Craig Robinson, Zazie Beetz, Richard Ayoade. How do I say his name? Richard Ayoade.
Ayoade. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I can't.
He's from the.
We're already
stuff.
Yeah, we're
and Alex Bornstein is that the voice of Lois? Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
and yeah, that's the cast there. It's for a book adaptation called The Bad Guys, and if you look up the artwork of The Bad Guys, it looks pretty interesting because it says Mr. Wolf, Mr. Snake, Mr. Piranha, Mr. Shark, and Miss Tarantula hatch a plan to pull off the ultimate heist, and they said it's supposed to be reminiscent of like what is it called? What Shrek did for like fairy tales, but for this one is going to do that with like
superheroes.
I don't know what that is. They're like different weird characters. It's kind of like BoJack Horseman-y, where they have like human bodies but like animal heads and stuff. And they're also comparing it to Kung Fu Panda for what Kung Fu Panda did for Kung Fu genre. So I think they're doing that for the heist. They're like, this is supposed to be an interesting heist movie where it's making fun of other heist movies, kind of. And I like the artwork. Sam Rockwell plays Mr. Wolf.
Love him.
Aquafina is Miss Tarantula. Anthony Ramos is Mr. Piranha. Mark Maron is Mr. Snake. And Craig Robinson is Mr. Shark. So those are the main cast. And I like
Richard
Ioade,
however you say his name.
Yeah,
He was also in the
Ayoade.
IT crowd. He was
Yeah,
in the
that's
IT
where,
crowd,
that's where he
and
started, right?
Yeah, he directed that movie Submarine.
I love that one.
He's great. Yeah, no, he's great.
I like Submarine a lot.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
The singer of Arctic Monkeys, I think, made all the music for
Alex Turner.
Yeah, for Submarine. It's really good.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did that one song at the end. That was great. It's one of my favorites. But anyways, sounds amazing. I love Sam Rockwell. He's
supposed to come out next year too. Like I think they said, when was it? April 15th next year.
But it is Universal. DreamWorks.
Yes, it is.
So
I mean, they
I'm
did
not gonna.
Shrek.
Yeah, but what have they done after that? That's any good
Yeah, and nothing else that they made has had that much of a cultural impact
besides
since. But
Kung Fu Panda. And
even that,
honestly,
but yeah, those are the
yeah,
two
no,
movies they're
that
trying to compare this to too, as well. They're just like,
How to Train Your Dragon, though, I haven't seen the sequels. I saw the first one, I really liked it, but supposedly that's like one of the greatest franchises of all
yeah,
time.
it's
I
good
haven't
and
seen
connected.
the
Yes, that's true.
yeah, I haven't seen the last two, but I've heard that it's really, really, really good.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Madagascar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, they did Captain Underpants though. I really did like that movie.
I was surprised about that movie. I was so excited when that came
I
out. That was
was
one of the
too.
first books that I got at the
Yeah, same.
at the book fairs in
Book
elementary school. I'm like,
fairs. Yep.
I'm gonna get these, and they were like
I
kind of
love the
comic booky. I
artwork.
loved them.
Love the
Yeah,
artwork. No, dude,
yeah.
no. I actually really, really liked the movie. I thought the movie captured that weirdo energy so fucking well.
Isn't it who's the bad guy in that again? I think it's someone we know. I have to look it up. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Nick Kroll, wasn't he that?
Nick Kroll, thank you.
Yeah,
He's the bad guy.
yeah.
Yes, there we go. I didn't have to look it up. Thank
Dude,
you.
actually, DreamWorks did some really great movies, and then they just fell off. Like Ants is fantastic. Road to El
Oh yeah,
Dorado, Chicken
yeah.
Run, Shrek.
They're trying to make a Chicken Run sequel still, and I'm like,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
let's
But
not,
yeah,
let's
Chicken
not.
Run is one of my favorites. I
Dude,
forget that
Wallace
it's
and
Mel
Gromit,
Gibson. Yeah, Wallace and Gromit is my favorite. They
Over the
produce
Hedge.
Aardman or whatever. Yeah.
They
Oh, I like
used
that one a
to, and
lot.
then
I've
yeah,
never
Over the
seen that
Hedge
one
is
in
awesome.
theaters.
Yeah, but then after that, it's no go. The Croods, Turbo, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Penguins of Madagascar, Home, Kung Fu Panda 3, Trolls, The Boss Baby. Good God, The Boss Baby.
Oh my
Let's never
god.
talk about The Boss Baby. Fuck The Boss Baby. I can't believe The
I've
Boss
never
Baby's a
seen it, and
fucking
I
thing.
just
Why
every
do we
time I
do
see
this?
more information
Why?
about that or see clips about it, I'm like, how is this a movie? How is this still going? And then there's that new one that just came out on Paramount Plus
So
exclusively, and I was like,
bad.
what? And they got Tobey Maguire to show up in the first one. He was like the narrator or something, and then he
Yeah,
just doesn't.
he was the narrator.
That's insane. He never
Dude,
does
no,
anything.
that I couldn't even finish The Boss Baby. The Boss Baby was so bad. Well, anyways, moral of the story. I like that cast for the bad guys, but
I like the
I'm very
artwork too.
weary on that company because
Mhm.
they just, especially the last few movies that they've done, like in the past like 10 years or so, have not been good. And like I said again, I've not seen the How to Train Your Dragon sequels, which I've heard
Mhm.
those are really good movies. So maybe I should dive back into that because I've heard that those are really great. But
They are. Yeah, they fit together
yeah, the
well. It's
Boss
not like
Baby
they just go in different
is
directions.
one of yeah, the Boss Baby is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life, and I can't believe they made a sequel. And
Back in business.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? You want to know something? I rather watch fucking Minions than
I'd rather watch Mamma Mia than fucking Boss Baby. Let's see.
I want Mamma
There's
Mia
this
3, Electric Boogaloo.
Anthony Ramos was in that last cast for the bad guys. I clicked on his movies he has coming out, and he has this one coming out that sounds interesting. It sounds like an original idea, kind of, but it's reminiscent of like other movies. I think just you'll probably get it when I say it, but the movie's called Distant, and it's apparently a science fiction comedy drama. But that was like the last thing I found out about that there's comedy. I was like, why do I keep reading comedy on these different things like under genre? But the premise is the spaceship of a mining engineer gets struck by an asteroid, sending him to an unknown alien planet where he contends with an AI survival suit, and he connects with a fellow crew member via radio who is trapped inside her own escape pod and losing oxygen. So they have to like meet up and save each other.
Sounds super funny.
It sounds hilarious. Where's Adam Sandler? I don't know, but I mean that's interesting because the directors of these, I found out, I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Then it's a pair of directors, Josh Gordon and Will Speck. They did Office Christmas Party, The Switch, Blades of Glory. Those are the three main ones. And so I was like,
That's
okay, so this actually might be kind of funny, but I don't see how it could be with that type of like maybe the world. Like I was imagining when I first read it, I was like, oh, okay, so they have to he has to go out into space and save the world Armageddon style, where they have to drill into asteroids and stuff. And then I don't know how it's going to be funny.
That's
It sounds like
probably
it would
they're
be
probably
really
gonna
intense.
make fun of probably gonna make fun of all that
Because
stuff.
yeah,
Hey, but dude, Zachary Quinto is one of the funniest people of all time.
yeah, and he's going to voice the survival suit or the AI suit, and it's yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting, but I think this could be this is going to be on my radar for when it comes out. It's supposed to come out in March, so that means we'd probably get some sort of trailer or something
Well,
by
I
like
love Anthony
October.
Ramos.
Yeah, he's on a good route. He's going to be in a new Transformers movie too. So
I was kind of a fight with a buddy of mine about In the Heights. He hated it, but he loved Vivo. I liked Vivo a lot.
I never saw Vivo.
It's good,
Where can
but
you
I
watch
was like,
Vivo?
it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
No, but Vivo's fine. It's a cute movie. Cute movie. But,
what's his name? Did it? The music.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah,
that's why we got into a fight about it. He was like, I liked Vivo more than In the Heights. He was like, I don't get the point of In the Heights, and I was like,
it's because he has no culture.
You're stupid.
He doesn't get it.
Yeah. No, that's what I was saying though. I was like, dude, you just don't. It's not a bad thing, but it's just like you're wrong. It's not your fault that you are wrong.
Let's see. Yeah, that's going to be on my radar. Distant March 2022. I believe they finished shooting and stuff. There's not that many people in it. It's got Anthony Ramos and Naomi Scott from what is Naomi Scott from? She played Jasmine in Aladdin.
Dude, she is hilarious.
She was in Charlie's Angels, the new one. Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
so funny. She is so funny.
I wonder how they're gonna sprinkle in all the comedy for that. But I was like, I thought this was gonna be like a full blown like sci-fi action drama, but no, it's a comedy drama, a dramedy.
They're just gonna throw in like fucking TJ Miller or something. He's gonna fall down.
Have you heard how like everything that was going on with him? He's in a better place, I guess. He didn't get arrested for what's it called? He didn't go to prison
for the bomb
calling in the
threat that he did.
Yeah, because he had a mental breakdown. And he like said,
well, he's a crazy person.
But that's because he literally like is missing part of his brain and stuff now.
Yeah.
It's very, very weird.
That's what I was saying to my friend. My friend was obsessed with TJ Miller, and then he was like, "Oh man, he got me too'd," and I was just like, "That guy literally lost like part of his brain." Like, I'm not saying we cut him some slack, but I mean, like, he lost part of his brain.
Yeah, it's just like, it's just gone, and that causes
like
so much paranoia.
Like Shia LaBeouf, he's fucking With Shia LaBeouf, he's fucking crazy. But I mean, like, did you watch Honey Boy?
Yeah. He might be coming back.
He's completely fucked. He doesn't know.
He might be setting up his next role, which is like what?
He needs time.
He just couldn't not create. Let's see.
Yeah. Hey, just do it.
This next one is interesting. We got another story. We're getting another directorial debut from an actress. Halle Barry is making her directorial debut with and starring in the movie as well. It's a movie called Bruised, and it sounds it's pretty insane. She plays a disgraced MMA fighter who finds redemption in the cage and the courage to face her demons when the son she had given up as an infant unexpectedly re-enters her life. And the stills that they have, there's only like a couple. She looks pretty beat up. She plays an MMA star, so she's got this huge fat black eye, and apparently she broke ribs like on the first day of shooting, and she was like, I can't stop because there was a super independent film. So she was like, I'm not gonna like go to the hospital and like sit out for like 3 weeks to heal. She's like, I'm just gonna fight through it and make this movie still. So she started the movie with broken ribs and continued to shoot everything else, which is a trooper. That's what you got to do if you're going to direct. She made a smart move because they probably would have lost a lot of money if they halted because it's super independent. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you don't know Halle Berry, she's most known for Catwoman.
Yeah, Catwoman and Die Another Day.
Yeah, yep.
Not any of the good movies she's done, just the bad ones.
That's what she's known for.
Which is actually true. Which is actually sadly true. Like, that's not even.
She won an Oscar. She won an Oscar for Monsters Ball, I think. Right?
Yeah. No. She had the old Oscar curse happen to her.
Yeah. But
she was
everyone
also
knows her
in
and
a
everyone
great
likes her still.
Warren Beatty movie. trying to remember what it's called. I'm looking at her IMDb right now. Bulworth. Oh my god, that movie's great.
Bulworth? When was that?
Yeah, that was the 90s.
Oh,
It's
wow.
super controversial. It's a controversial movie. It's about this politician who is super suicidal, so he hires his own assassin. So he's like going through his campaign, and he just says the craziest shit, and he starts getting super inspired by Black culture and rapping. So he starts rapping, and he just says really really gnarly things, like he goes to this this like Black rally, and she was like, "Are you saying the Democrats don't care about about Black people?" And he's like, nobody in politics cares about Black people. It's like everybody just fucking freaks out. It's super, it's crazy. But Halle Berry plays like his like, well, this is like 98, but Halle Berry plays his love interest who like inspires him, and then he starts rapping. It's super weird, but I promise you, it's entertaining. Even though it has super controversial aspects. It's actually Obama's favorite movie.
Oh wow, yeah, it was directed by Warren Beatty, and he came up with the story as well.
Warren Beatty, yeah,
that's interesting. He was the original.
Yeah, no, it's probably his last great performance. Before
was he the original Clyde of Bonnie and Clyde? I think he was, right? Yeah, he's the original Clyde from Bonnie and Clyde.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep.
Good. Yep. I think we studied him in film too. He became like one of the first actors to become like a producer for his own movies. He was like one of the first people to do that because he was so successful.
Yeah. He was also in the notoriously box office bomb Ishtar with Dustin Hoffman, directed by Elaine May, which is,
I don't even know what that is.
Honestly, super underrated. Oh my god, look that up. That movie's actually pretty funny.
I forgot that Halle Berry was an X-Men. She was in all the X-Men movies. She's done a lot. Wow, she's made it around.
Yeah. She played Storm. She brought the thunder
and the lightning. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Yeah, she brought the thunder and the lightning.
I hope her directorial debut goes well.
Yeah, I do too. I think that she deserves to make a comeback, because I do think that she's a good actress.
Yeah, the writer of this movie hasn't done anything either. It's her first movie. Her name's Michelle Rosenfarb. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It says it's supposed to be out already. It says 2020, but
yeah, I saw that.
Seen it. Maybe it's because they premiered it in 2020 at a festival.
Yeah, hopefully they're not like burying it.
I don't think so. She just started doing. Oh, it has a release date. What? No. Okay. So it premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 12th last year, but it's coming out on Netflix apparently, and it's going to be released November 24th, 2021. So it's in November. So we can look forward to that. November, Halle Berry, Bruised.
Hey, we stand for Barry. We stand for
That's
Barry.
the name of my brother's car. He calls it Halle Berry because it's
Halle Berry.
Yeah, that's the name of the car.
That's funny.
Let's see. I think I have one more story because I thought this would go longer with those topics, but they did not. So we're going to do one more story. I'm a bit 50-50 on this one because these guys are hit or miss. Nat Faxon and Jim Rash are making their next project that they wrote and are directing. I believe. You didn't like their last one. They wrote, I think they did some rewrites for the script Downhill or whatever. They directed.
I liked it if they didn't cast Will Ferrell, that movie would have been fine. But overall, I mean, like, regardless of his performance, that one was a major hit major miss for them, which sucks because those guys are really, really talented.
They're Oscar winners too. Movies. Like, they started their careers by winning an Oscar for writing the Descendants, the George Clooney movie. They wrote it. They didn't direct it, but they wrote it, and they won a.
Yep, Alexander Payne directed it. It was one of my favorites.
That was a good movie that year. I remember seeing it. I was like, this is good. I like this. And it was like one of the few Shailene Woodley movies I like.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah, dude. No, that movie came out the year my dad passed. So it was like that movie hit me like a ton of bricks. Ton of
Yeah,
bricks.
like a ton of bricks.
A ton of bricks.
Not one brick, but a ton of them.
A ton of them. A gaggle of bricks.
A gaggle of bricks. So they made their directorial debut together. They made their directorial debut together with the Way Back, which was a Sam Rockwell movie.
Really good.
That was a good one. That's why I was like they can do something if they have like full control. Because I think what was it? The Downhill was a collaboration / remake. So it was less them because they wrote it with other people.
Yeah. Well, also it's one of those movies where the French du Jour, which is based off of, came out like literally like 2 years before. So it was one of those movies that just like, it just didn't, it was still so fresh, and the original movie, pretty sure it's called the French du Jour. So it's obviously French, but maybe, who knows? Okay. But no, that movie is really good. It's really funny. And the main thing is that the actors have chemistry. Like Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus did not have any chemistry. But
they're just like, we know how they are individually. It doesn't matter if they sync together.
Well, it just seemed like did you ever see it? Did you ever see that movie? Dude, it just seemed like Will Ferrell was so uncomfortable playing someone unlikable, which is weird because like he's great in Everything Must Go. And that movie, that character is pretty damn unlikable, even though he has like redeeming qualities about him. He still is like this like terrible alcoholic who like just ruined his own life and is just overall an awful human being. But in that movie, like there's one scene where like, yeah, I know let's not even dive into it because I can talk about Downhill all fucking day because like I really wanted to like that movie.
Let's talk about the good movie they made then, The Way Back. That has Sam Rockwell and it's about like a family vacation, and it has Steve Carell playing a dick, which is always fun to see. He plays
that was like the first that was the first typecast or not typecast against
it was like right after he left the Office too, I think. So it was like, well, what is he doing now? And he comes out and he does this and we're like, oh, he's a jerk.
Yeah, no, that was super shocking to me. Like he was so good in that movie that like towards the end he didn't even look like himself. Like when he tries to like fight the kid at the party, he really like tries to grab on him. I was just like, oh damn.
Damn. That's insane. That's a good movie. So I would recommend watching that one for them and The Descendants to know what Nat Faxon and Jim Rash do. Also Community. Just watch Community for Jim Rash.
Just watch Community.
Yeah, they directed some of those episodes too. But this new one is called, there's not much there is some information about it. This next movie is called The Heart, and it also has Sam Rockwell because I think that's going to be a good collaboration, actor directors. I hope Sam Rockwell keeps working with those guys if they make their own original stuff. But it has Sam Rockwell, Octavia Spencer, and Allison Janney. And this movie is
nice.
Let's see. It centers on Joe, played by Rockwell, and Lucy, who's Octavia Spencer, who, while desperate for cash, take the job for delivering a human heart from New York to Florida in 24 hours. And when they realize their delivery is destined for the black market buyer who illegally skipped the donors list, they attempt to reroute it to its rightful recipient. But they are soon hunted down by multiple insane criminals, including a greedy millionaire buyer his scorned brother, and Lucy's own drug dealing ex-boss, played by Allison Janney. So it sounds like it could be a lot of fun. It sounds awesome. Serious than The Way Back, which was about family drama and growing up. But this one sounds really good and just fun.
Well, even like with The Way Back as well, like that movie like still had so many like funny moments.
Oh yeah,
and The really Descendants good. Too. The Descendants, like when George Clooney's running to that house,
it's got a lot of heart.
Yeah.
It's called The Heart.
God damn it, Elijah. I quit. But it's like no, they're fucking funny, man. And like even The Descendants, when George Clooney's running from house to house, and there's no music or anything, you just hear his flip flops. Like it's like there's just like moments like that. Even though they didn't direct that movie, but that's
probably a part of it. It's all on the page. Everything that the director does is from the page usually, and it's got to be like that. They really get comedy and moments.
It's great. Yeah, I like them. But Yeah, no, that sounds like it'll be fun. That sounds like it's more of a mainstream kind of comedy.
Yeah, I don't know if it
sounds
has
like
a
they're like trying
distributor
to
yet.
like
I hope
break.
it's somewhere. I hope it's someone big, and I hope it gets traction. Because the way back
Yeah,
was
man.
limited release. It didn't come out everywhere. Like it was a very small movie.
Yeah,
Actually.
I like that movie a lot. I saw the movie in the theater with my mom. That
Mhm.
was another one, dude. Yeah, Jim Rash and Nat Faxon have a weird thing with my life because that movie as well was like when my mom and I moved. Um, we just moved to Oregon, and she started dating some guy that I thought was a total asshole, and I was, and he always told me to stand up straight, and I'm pretty sure he called me a 3 as well. So like they actually have a lot. They have yeah, that's actually weird. I think that's why
Yeah, I think he
Downhill
called me a 3.
I think that's why Downhill was just like just not it for me because there's just nothing. I don't know. Like I think it's mainly Will Ferrell, but there's just like nothing relatable about it. There are other movies like the Descendants and the Way Back, Way Back. Not the Way Back. That's a good movie too, though. There's a lot of Way Back movies.
Way
What's
back.
going on here?
Yeah. What's happening?
What's happening here?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, I'm down for it. I'll always support those guys until they do me wrong.
Yeah, the Nate Faxon does a lot. I realized he's got 100
Yeah.
acting credits. That's pretty cool. He's going to be in that Our Flag Means Death show, the Pirates one with Taika Waititi. He plays Captain Underpants on TV, which is interesting. I didn't know that on the TV
There's
shows.
a TV show?
Yeah, there's a couple, I guess. There's the Epic Tales of Captain Underpants in Space and the Epic Tales of Captain Underpants. So there's that.
Cool. That's cool.
I think there's another thing that we were talking about that he's in that I missed. We were just talking about it. Charlie's Angels. He's also in Charlie's Angels. So callbacks from things that we have mentioned in this episode. But I think that's all the news that we have.
Really quick.
Nate Faxon has done a lot. You should watch his stuff.
Oh, dude, yeah, he's great. And he also has a really funny role in Club Dread, which is underrated Broken Lizard comedy. They're the guys that did Star Trek, or not Star Trek Troopers, Jesus Christ, Super Troopers.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on TV all the time, and I remember thinking it's supposed to look like it looks weird. It looks like an 80s like thing, but it's like newer.
It's a total cheesy,
I didn't know it was a parody thing.
Yeah, it's a total cheesy slasher comedy. And I remember I watched that, like my brother and I were obsessed with that movie. And then I showed it to Aldo. And Aldo at first was like, I don't want to watch this. And then boobs came on the TV and he was like, we do, you could turn it off.
You don't turn Meryl Streep off.
Because he wanted to see some no. He wanted to just see some boobs. But there's this movie that I just found like just randomly right now called On the Count of Three. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
It's directed and starring Jerrelle Carmichael.
Really? Oh yes, I have heard of it. Yes, yeah. I know which one you're talking about now.
It's like a drama.
Yeah, it's about like two friends who have a suicide pact, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
really
something
weird.
I don't know, like I can't even tell you how I stumbled upon this. I mean, like I could like back out and try to find out, but
look at history. We'll avoid those.
Yeah, but also it's written by wait a second, let me see this really quick. See if this is right.
Oh yeah, the synopsis says 2 guns, 2 best friends, and a pact to end their lives when the day is done. That's all it says.
Yeah. And it has Henry Winkler in it too, and Tiffany Haddish and JB Smoove.
JB Smoove. Interesting.
He's always the best. Christopher Abbott is interesting. Yeah, no, the poster. I just like saw the poster. I was like, I saw a film by Gerard Carmichael, and I was like,
Sundance.
Oh, this should be funny. But it doesn't sound funny. That sounds depressing. But also he's directing it now.
It looks like super. Cool. It looks like incredible. Like it looks super film grainy too. There's one still of the 2 main characters pointing a gun at each other. It looks very like 90s, like it was shot on a video camera or something. It's very grainy, and it's an interesting choice.
Also, if that's how they're gonna kill themselves, I think one of them. I think that's a bad idea.
one of them's gonna mess up.
Yeah, they should just drink something. Drink bleach. I don't know. I mean, hey, we're not condoning mass suicides here.
Yeah, no.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
But if you're going to, just be more smart about it.
Yeah, because like this is like, you know, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be really messy.
Yeah, closed casket for sure.
Closed casket.
Think of your family.
Yeah, think about your yeah. If we're gonna go with that, yeah, think about your family, of course. But also, if you're gonna do it like this, yeah, think about your family. But also, just don't do it like that. Drink some bleach. Quote me on that, Mom. Yeah. He said just drink some bleach.
I heard it on History of Popcorn. That's where I get my news.
Justin Talbot said that. He's not controversial at all.
Yeah, they're reliable. They know what they're doing. They know what they're saying. They know everything. They're not held accountable for their actions. Anyway, I think that's our episode.
He's a stand-up comedian. Yeah, yes. No, I think it's a great way to end it. Let's end it. I have to go to work.
That movie
now.
Does look interesting. Yeah, Gerard Carmichael. We probably will hear more about that once it comes out. It premiered at Sundance recently. We haven't talked about Chris Miller and Phil Lord in a while. So real quick, Cocaine Bear started production. So go for that. Good for them. Hopefully we get set photos and stuff. But
why do they get Elizabeth Banks?
Well, yeah, we'll see how I'm more excited about Halle Berry's directorial debut. I mean, Elizabeth Banks already had hers, and it was mediocre. Yeah. She did her job. But that's our episode. We don't want to get too specific about why we don't like Elizabeth Banks and her eyes of directing. But if you just watch her movies, you'll realize. Subscribe to us. That sounded so personal, Bruce.
We're not going to talk about Elizabeth Banks and her eyes.
Yeah, it is a little personal, but we don't have to talk about that today. Subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, tell your friends about us, download our episodes, help us out, let us know what you're watching, and tell Justin to hang Zac Efron up somewhere forever.
Never.
he's just my companion, their desk side companion. Okay, yeah. Thank you guys. That was a good episode. We made it to 29. We're almost 30. That's gonna be fun.
Shit, dude. We're gonna have to buy a motorcycle and buy some hair dye.
Oh yeah. I mean, my brother's 30 now, so I'll ask how it works out. Have a good day at work, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
And if you're listening, hopefully you check us out next week. Goodbye, guys. Enjoy the movies and eat some popcorn. Bye.